Perfect. All right, hey guys, this is Bailey with Scott Leroy Marketing. I'm going to be teaching our KW Command marketing class. So to get started, I am on the sign-in page of Command. I am at agent.kw.com. So I'm going to go ahead and get signed in. I'll give you guys a moment to do the same. All right, so once we're signed in, that does bring us to our Command dashboard. And before we jump in and create any marketing today, we want to go into our settings, and I'm going to point out just a few things that you want to have linked up that are relevant for marketing and today's class. So I'm going to go up to the top right, and I'm in Scott's account, so I'll click on Scott's name here. And then I'm going to click Settings. All right, so this brings us into our applications, and this is where you can see all the different apps that are linked up to Command and different apps that you can link up. So I'm just going to point out the ones that are going to make sense for today's class. So you'll see up at the top are our apps that are already connected. You can see we have Facebook connected here for post scheduling. One cool feature that we'll go over today that Command has is social media scheduling. It's similar to Hootsuite if you've ever used that before. You can actually go in and set up all your social media posts for the future for Facebook and Twitter. So if you wanted to use that feature, you would want to make sure your Facebook is connected here. You can see there's also a spot for Twitter for social posting, post scheduling. All you would need to do is go over to the right, click on this teal button here that says Connect Account, and it'll basically just have you sign in, and once you do that, it will allow you to select either Facebook or Twitter when we're doing that post scheduling, but we'll go over that a little bit more later in this class. Keep scrolling down. In this marketing section, you can see we have Facebook and Twitter again. This is for running ads. In addition to the social media posting, you can also run different ads through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So if you wanted to do that, you would need to hook up these outlets again. All you need to do is click the Connect Account button. It'll have you sign in, and then those accounts will be linked. And same thing for Google AdWords. You can also run Google AdWords campaigns through Command. And you'll have to link that up here by clicking Connect Account. All right, gonna put this in there one more time, and then I'm on mute? No, I'm not. I don't think so. Thank you. I was like, wait. I'll say if that doesn't work. All right, we got to keep going. Hopefully that gets figured out for them. But yeah, we are recording this class. So if you want to review later and watch this class again, or maybe you have to leave, or you want to send it to your friends, this will be up on our YouTube page later. All right, so for those Facebook or for any of these social ads, you'll want to make sure that these accounts are linked up here. And then down toward the bottom, the last thing I want to point out are these email services. So if you are going to set up any email campaigns through Command, you will need Mailchimp linked up. So we will touch on this later today as well. But basically, you have to have your contacts in Mailchimp to send out any email campaigns through through command because it's going to send it via Mailchimp and it's only going to pull your Mailchimp contacts. So we'll touch on this a bit later, and then if you guys need help with pulling your contacts over to Mailchimp from command, we can actually assist with that as well. And then command email, if you wanted to send any other emails through command that are not the email campaigns, you would need this section set up as well. And I will point out that if you have gone through our setup process of filling out our questionnaire or filling out the command setup, we do set up Mailchimp and this command email for you. And then if you have any trouble when you're connecting your Facebook, we can assist you with that as well. All right, so those are the main things in the settings that I want to point out. Let's just go ahead and jump over into our designs, and we'll get started today. So what I'm going to do is over on the left, we have these different icons for the different sections of command. If you actually click on this KW up at the top right or left, top left, it'll show you what each of these sections are, and we're going to go into designs. All right, and I'm not going to be able to go over everyone's questions today just because we do have a lot of people in this class and we got to keep chugging along, but let me just take a quick look. I believe Mailchimp is back up and running. I haven't heard anything today, so if you continue to have problems with that, shoot us an email. We can definitely take a closer look at your account. When we go into the advertising, that'll make a little bit more sense. We'll go into that later in this class. What is the difference from MC and the command email? So the command email is just your KW email being utilized in command. So, oopsie, we're gonna keep chugging along. But if you guys have further questions or problems in those settings, shoot us an email directly, and we would be happy to help. All right, so I'm in our design templates right now. I went over on the left and I clicked on this designs icon. And that brings us basically into a library of our different design templates. So anything that we've created in the past, we can access again here. You can sort these by clicking on the different categories. You can see your different email pieces, landing pages, social posts, any print pieces you've made. This is basically a library of all of your pieces you've created in the past. So if we wanted to create something new, we would go down to the bottom right and click on this plus sign. And we have different options here for email, social, print, video, and we can import a PDF. So let's start with a social post. So I'm going to click on social, and then if this is a piece for a listing, you can actually go down here to the bottom and click import photos and text from a listing. It's going to make this really easy for us, and then we'll click next. And you don't have to check this box. You also have the option to manually import whatever photos you need and manually update the text. But if it is a piece about a listing, I would go ahead and click this and select your listing because it's just going to make it so much easier for us. So I'm going to click next, and that brings up this KWLS search page. So we can go up to the top, we can search by property address or MLS number. And I'm going to search for my listing. I am not sure about that. Great question. I'm really not sure. So I found my listing here. And I'm going to go ahead and click select. And this brings us into all of our templates. So over here on the left, you can see these are the different types of templates that we have available. Right now we're looking at different templates for the app. There are different templates for listings, for buyers, lead generation, business basics, leadership, new designs, and pivot. This would be stuff pertaining to kind of like what's going on right now with the coronavirus. But let's say we wanted to make a social media post about a listing. So I'm going to click Just Listed here. And you can see it now kind of breaks it down for us based on which outlet we want to post on. So there's pieces for Facebook, for Instagram, and you can see when I go through these, the sizes change. Instagram stories, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So each one of these templates are designed for whatever platform you're looking to post on. All right, so let's just go ahead and select one. You can find whichever one you like the most. Let's go with this one. This one looks pretty. So you can go over here and then click Use to select this template. And now it's going to bring us in and allow us to edit this piece. All right. So for these social media posts, you'll see that they're pretty simple. You can see they don't have like the property description, your photo on there. And that's because you're going to want to put the majority of your content in the body of the post. So we're going to do some sample posting later in the class through that post scheduling, but I just want to point that out. You don't want to overload this with information because this is just the image, and then we'll put the property description and more information in the body of the post, whether that's in Facebook or on Instagram. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, because they're all, I mean, you can use them, like you can create an Instagram piece and post it on Facebook as well, but they're just sized differently. So like, for example, this one is a rectangle, which is not the best size for Instagram. You probably want a square. So, I mean, you can use this, you can adjust it, but it's really up to you. They are interchangeable, but they're just not the ideal size for each one. So let's start to change out this information. Editing these pieces is really simple. You can see over here on the left, we have a library of images. These are just images we have saved from the past. But if we go over to the left, right now we're in images, I'm going to click on KWLS. And you can see when I click on that, it shows my listing that I selected before it brought us over into this piece. So we can see the photos that are imported, as well as listing details. So switching out the information on this piece is going to be really simple. So let's say I want to change out this lovely kitchen. So I'm going to click on this photo. And then all I need to do is go over to the left. And when I find the photo I want to switch this out for, all I need to do is highlight this, just put my mouse on top, and then I'm going to click this Replace Image button. And you can see it plugged in our photo. So you can also just drag photos over. So if I were to like grab this one, you can see it replaces it, or if I just want to put this image in somewhere else, I can drag it over and drop it on top. And then actually it looks like it went behind my background, so we would have to like move things. I don't want to totally mess this up though. Oh, I guess it just didn't come over. Well, all right, so I'm going to hit the back button because I'm making this less pretty now. There we go. But you can drag photos over. You can hit this plus sign, that'll add them over as well. But I like using the replace button. Oop, and then when you delete, it does have this placeholder image here, so you'll have to delete twice. I just clicked on this and I hit delete on my keyboard. But it's really easy to play around with these and switch out the photos. So you can come in here, find the photo that works best, And then same sort of thing for the listing details. So up here we have the address. I'm going to click on the address here. And of course, I can just double click on this and start to type in the address. So I can highlight this and just type in 2727 Banks. So depending on what details you're changing out, it may be easier to just type that in, but we do also have the option to utilize the listing details over here. So if I were to click on this text here, and then go over to my listing details, I can use that replace button again and it'll swap out the text. So this, it's kind of cut off. Let me see if I can make that bigger. So on my screen it is cut off a little bit, but you can see, I wish I could move this over. I don't believe I can, but there is the replace button over here to the right. So if I click on that, you can see it swapped out my text. So this is great for like the, we'll do this on a print piece as well, but the property description, something that's longer that you would have to type out or copy and paste, it will be really easy to just use this replace button and drop the text in. So I will say it doesn't add in the state, so I'm just going to go ahead and edit that. That looks good. And then I can still find the rest of my information down here. For these, I'm just going to type them in because this is one big box, and each one of these elements are individual pieces, so it's just going to be easier for me to manually change these out. There we go. So this is a question that I never know how to answer. So if a house has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and then 2 half bathrooms, I would put 2.5, but if it's 2, I guess you just type it in, 2 bath, 2 half bath. I would love, that looks, I'm just gonna leave it as 2. I would love to know how you guys add that in because I am never sure how to add in multiple half bathrooms on these. All right, I'll just swap this out really quick. Find the, built in 1997. I love this little house. I think it's so cute. Yes. Hopefully this person can hear me. Oh, okay. Thank you. I just have honestly wanted to know that. 2 + 2. Thank you. Yes. So hopefully this person, 283, yes, this will be on YouTube later. I'm not sure if they've called in yet, so I'm going to type this in real quick. Cool. See, even I learned something today. So I've swapped out the information. The last thing I want to switch is this logo up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to images. So for these logos, there we go. So it was having me click on my background. So make sure you're clicking on the right pieces in these. So for the logos, for some reason, the replace button isn't available. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I have a logo already uploaded here. Oh. Interesting. This is a very interesting discussion, guys. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this logo over here, and then if I drag it over, and then it should, yeah, so the replace, I guess, just doesn't work for these. So I'm just going to delete this. I clicked on this logo, and I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard, and that'll go away. So now what I can do is I can grab the logo from my library over here on the left, basically drop it where I'd like it placed, and then I can grab the corners to resize. So you guys can play around with this a little bit more when you're working on your pieces, but I just wanted to show you that it is really simple to work your way through these and design these pieces, change out your information, and then you can see this looks really nice. And over here, if you wanted to add in images from your computer, so my library, I only have these 4 images here. If you needed to upload a logo or something that is not available in KWLS or in this logos folder here, you can go over to this add section and it'll allow you to upload images from your computer as well. So if you need to manually create a piece, there is this option here. All right, so this looks great. I'm going to go up to the top left. You can see right here it says just listed 06 Facebook. This is the name of the piece. I want to switch this out. So I'm going to double click on that and I will just change this to just listed 2727 Banks Facebook. All right, oh, and I didn't hit anything. It did auto save for me, but you can hit enter and then you can see, you may have missed it, but let me put in another name and see if it does this. You can see over here on the left really quick, it just showed that it's saved. So now this is saved in my library. So what I'm going to do is I now have the option to save this to my computer. I'm going to go over to this download button. I can save this as a JPEG or a PNG file. Either one of these would be great for posting on Facebook. Or if I was creating a print piece like a flyer, I could use this Get PDF section, and it'll give me a nice high quality print. I don't have to save this right now. If I wanted to, I can go directly into my campaign section and go into post scheduling and pick this from my files. So we'll get to that after we do just a couple more templates here, and I'll show you guys how we can then use this piece that we created in that post scheduling section. But this is all good to go and saved. I can download it if I want. I can post this directly on Facebook, Instagram. I can put this in the body of an email if I wanted to. But you have this piece now available to you. So we're going to go back. I'm going to hit this little KW up at the top left. Ooh, it says I haven't saved. I'm just going to hit save. Oh, I was like, wait, there was one more question. So I feel like I have seen that as well, where some of the listing details don't show up. It may, I don't know what causes that. It's got to be something from it coming over into MLS. But if you, so what I would do, if it's your listing and it's not pulling over, I would utilize the live chat feature in Command and reach out to KW and let them know, like, hey, my listing details aren't pulling over, and they can take a look at that for you. If it is a newer listing, like it just went on the market within like a day, it may be just a timing issue, but I would reach out to KW support directly for that. And I'll show you where you can use that live chat as well. All right, so we're back in our templates. If we wanted to switch gears and go over to, say, a print piece, we would have to completely get out of this section. So I'm going to go up to the top right and click on the X. And that's going to bring me back over into Command. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I didn't switch out the price. We're not actually going to post this, but I'll show you how we can at least schedule it, but it's not actually going to go up on anyone's page. But thank you. You're right. I did miss that. All right, so we're back in our design templates. And then for that person who was having issues with their details not coming over, if you click on this little question mark up here, and really for anything that you will need to contact KW for, we recommend using this chat with support feature. It basically just sends over a message to them, and that's the way that we've noticed to get the quickest response from KW. So I'll just point that out. All right, so we want to create a print piece real quick before we go over to the campaigns. So we're going to go down to the bottom right again, click on that plus sign. And then this time I'll click print. And I do want to import my photos and text from the listing again. And I will hit next. Same sort of thing. This is going to be a really similar process. I can type in my listing. Select that here. All right, and now we can see our different print pieces. So there are pieces for the app, listings, buyers, lead gen, business basics, leadership, and new designs. So you can see we have even templates for like business cards. There's a letterhead in here. We have buyer presentations. We have listing presentations. I'm not going to touch on these today. We do have shorter videos just about the buyer presentations and listing presentations. We actually have a video that I made a couple weeks ago where it shows you how to create the buyer presentation, and then you can actually upload it to your KW command site. So if you wanted to put like a buyer resources page on your website, we do have a video that walks you through that process. So these are really cool. If you need a listing presentation or a buyer presentation, I recommend checking these out because they're really, really nice. You can completely customize them. You can take out pages. You can add in pages, which if you had used the e-edge ones in the past, those were awesome as well, but they weren't as customizable. Like you weren't able to delete pages in them. So these are just a little easier to work with, which is awesome. I think I just said awesome 3 times. They're really cool. So we have the listing presentations here. The last thing I want to point out before we just go in and make a flyer, there are also these really neat pieces called neighborhood snaps. We also have a shorter video on these. You can go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/ScottLeroyMarketing, and use that search feature. You can search for buyer presentation, listing presentation, or neighborhood snap. We have videos walking you through each of these, but basically you can make these custom marketing pieces about a certain neighborhood you may be working in. And you'll be able to add in stats specific for that neighborhood. And you can see in the neighborhood snaps, for example, we have flyers, door hangers, and postcards that you can use here. So these are good door knocking pieces. So you can see kind of a preview here. It pulls in listing information like average price, how many listings are on the market, days on market, things like that. But for today, we're just going to make a flyer. So I'm going to go into listings and then just listed. You can see we have even more templates here, door hangers, bifolds, horizontal bifolds, trifolds, different postcards, and then here are our flyers. So you can see these are really nice, and they've actually added some more templates in here. These are really beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find a flyer I like. And then click use. Actually, this one's kind of cool. Let's go with this one. All right, so here's our flyer, and you guys kind of, I'm sure, got the gist of it in that last piece, but I just want to go through real quick and show you how easy it is to create a really nice just listed flyer that you can print out. And the cool thing is, with all of these, we do have the option to also use them as like an electronic piece. So if you wanted to, you can download this as the PDF and print it. You can also download it as the JPEG. And then you can still post this on Facebook, Instagram. You can put this in a body of an email. They're really versatile. So I'm going to scroll in just so you guys can see this a little clearer. I hit this little magnifying glass down at the bottom right. And I'm just going to work my way through this and update the information. So I want to switch out this photo here. I'll go over to KWLS because I selected my listing. I'll go ahead and hit replace. And since I'm here, I'll swap out these photos as well. I clicked on the photo I want to change. Again, go over, hit replace. And then I'll show you guys also, if you needed to upload photos, that's really easy as well. What I'm going to do, so sometimes this is a little tricky over here. Let's see, click on this. Okay, so sometimes these icons will disappear depending on what you're working on. So I needed to get back to images. So I just clicked on this image here, and then this appeared. So I have my listing pulled up on another website. I'm just going to find a different image that I would want to add. Oops, and this is not going to let me do this. I would need to sign in. Okay, so give me 1 second. So what we'll do instead, so let's say I have another listing photo on my computer. So let's say I wanted to switch this out, and you know, maybe this listing isn't in KWLS yet. Maybe I don't have, or it's not pulling over the photos, what have you. You can also manually upload these. So right now I'm in my library. I've selected this photo. I'm going to go over to Add. And if I wanted to upload from my computer, I can go down to this section here that says drag and drop or click to browse and upload. And I'm just going to click on that. There we go. You can see it pulled up this upload window, so I can go ahead and select my photo that I have saved on my computer. And now, so I know it's kind of confusing because this is the same image I have up here, but I did upload it, so it says imported images. I can go ahead and now select this photo and hit replace. It'll swap it out. So if, oops, what's it doing? Oh my goodness, okay. Let's just go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. So you can see it's really easy if you need to upload images as well. Like if you can't use that KWLS section, you can upload directly from your computer. But I'm going to pick a different photo from KWLS. I'll just do like a living room shot. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I'm just clicking around like a maniac right now. There we go. All right. So we have my photos selected. Now let's just switch out the listing information. So for this one, it looks like the property description is bullet points. Let's see how they have this set up in here. My screen must not be big enough because, there we go. So what I did was I expanded my screen, and now I found down at the bottom, hopefully you guys can see this, it is behind the support button. But this is my property description here. So if you wanted to follow this template and use the bullet points, you would have to manually double click on this and start typing in that information. I don't mind swapping this out for the paragraph, so I'm going to find my property description over here in the listing details, hit that replace button, and you can see it plugged in my property description. So I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see me tweak this just a little bit. You can see it did make the spacing a little funky. Not sure why it's doing that. So let's see if I can just make this text a little bit bigger so it fits on this page better. Oh my goodness. So this is, it kind of looks like it's acting just a little glitchy right now. So what I'm doing is I'm just adjusting the text box. I want to make this a little bigger. Oh my goodness. So you guys can play around with that and adjust the text to make this fit in the best way. I'm really not sure why it is spacing it like that. So you may just want to play around with this and see what works best. I think this might be acting just a little glitchy right now. Well, let's just go ahead and switch out this information. I can click on the text here, change out the price. I'll go ahead and take out US dollars. Switch out the address. I clicked on the address text box here, found my address under the listing details on the left and hit replace. And I know I'm going through this kind of quick, but you guys get the general idea. You're basically just clicking and editing, but they make it really simple. So you can see my zip got dropped down to the second line, so I'll grab this and just expand it. Another really cool thing about these templates is you can see if I click on this element and then I move it around, we have these little grid lines that pop up. So this is really nice and helps you to make sure that everything is aligned and centered properly, so that you can just make sure that this looks its best. I actually want to make this a little bigger, so I'll click on that, make that bigger, expand the box so we have room for everything, and then I'll move that over and make sure it's centered. There we go. And of course you can change out the fonts, you can change out the font colors, you can make them bold. You can see there's a whole library of different fonts here. And I'm not going to go through and switch out everything else on here. Whoop. But let's go ahead and switch out this photo. I'll hit back. I want to go, oh, it's not, let's see. So you can see I'm having trouble getting the library to pop up again. So I'm going to just click around and click on different photos. And for some reason, it is not allowing me to, there we go. All right, so you'll have to kind of click around and make sure you get what you're looking for on here. But I want to switch out this photo for Scott's photo, so I'll go to my library. My headshot is already in here, so I can go ahead and hit replace. Oh, well, that did not work. Let's hit back. That looks a little funny. All right, so I think I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm just going to pull over Scott's photo and lay it on top of that. So what I did was I clicked the use image, and then I'm just going to replace it. There we go. All right, so I don't want to spend too much more time on this. But let's say we went through, we swapped everything out. It now is exactly how we want it to look. We can now go up to the top again, click Save, 2727. There we go, Banks flyer. And when I hit enter, you can see that popped up real quick and said saved. And now I have the option here to hit this little down arrow. And this will allow me to download a JPEG or a PNG, which is great for emailing or posting on the internet, or a PDF. So when I download the PDF, you will have the option to download whatever pages you'd like. This is for like those multi-page documents such as a listing presentation or a buyer presentation. You would want to change the quality to high resolution print quality if this is something you're going to print, and then click Start Download. This will allow me to save this on my computer, and then I can go to my office, take this to Staples, print it at home, what have you, but it'll give me this nice, beautiful print quality flyer. I'm just going to adjust my window so we fit in there a little bit better. All right, so sorry about that. I know that was maybe just like a little buggy today, but please know that they're working on updates on command every day. So if something is giving you like a temporary glitch or a problem, just give it some time and it usually comes back up pretty shortly. All right, so now we're going to go over and switch this or post this. So what I'm going to do, let's just go ahead and go back. So if you wanted to post that on social media, there are a couple ways. You can go through the post scheduling section in Command, which we're going to go over and do now, or you can go and basically you would download the JPEG or PNG file, email it to yourself so you have it on your phone or on your computer, and then upload it that way. But Command kind of takes out a step for us, which is really nice, and offers that post scheduling. So from this page, I'm going to click the X again, and that's going to bring us back over into Command. Yes, that can help, and it also kind of depends on what browser. I am in Firefox today because in Chrome, I couldn't really get the campaign section to work. It was just giving me a lot of problems in Chrome for some reason. So you can try Chrome incognito or switch to a different browser. This, for some reason, sometimes seems to work better in Firefox. So you'll kind of have to play around in that depending on what you're doing. You can see what is working best, but just please note that KW is working on improving this every day. So like I said, if something is acting a little funky, I would probably wait it out, and then it usually comes back around pretty quickly. So over here, we're in the design templates. We're going to go over to the left again to these different icons, and we're going to click on this little megaphone here and go into the campaign section. So in campaigns, they're called campaigns, but there are a lot of different elements here. We can set up paid ads, we can set up emails, direct mail, and social posts. So let's start with social posts since we were just working in there. So what we're going to do from this dashboard, you can see different elements of the different campaigns. Right now they're running a special, so if you spend $75 or more, they're taking off $25 for Facebook ads. It'll show you which accounts are connected over here. So for ads, we have this Facebook account connected. For social posts, we have Facebook connected here. There are actually some quick posts. These are really cool, just little templates that you can use from command, and you can actually shuffle these to see more. But I'll come back to this. I want to show you how to create a social post first, and then there's some tips down at the bottom. So let's go ahead and post that Facebook piece we created. So I'm going to go toward the top at campaigns and click social posts. All right, and here is basically a dashboard for our social posts. You can see anything that we would have scheduled here. You can see basically a calendar of our week, see anything that went out and anything that is scheduled. Again, those quick posts are here, but I'll show you guys that in a moment. And then you can scroll through and just see your calendar for the week. But what we want to do is we want to create a post. So I'm going to go up to the top right and click Create a New Campaign. So if you want to create any of these options here, you will always go up to Create a New Campaign. And this time we will click Social Post. So this first image, this first window that pops up, ooh, and it went away real quick, is it's basically just adding in your DBA logo. So you can see that was uploaded down here. It's asking for some of these, it does require that your logo is there, so I would just make sure that a logo is uploaded here. All right, so we are going to create a social post. You can see over here on the right, as we start to build this post, it's going to give us a preview over here. So let's go ahead and start this. So it's asking what we would like to share. So I'm going to actually start with my design. So before we add in the text, I want to show you the different things that you can upload. So you can choose to upload a photo. So if we were doing a post about our listing, I could upload different images of the listing. I could upload a video. Maybe I had a virtual tour, or maybe this was a different sort of post where I just was talking to my audience, what have you. You could upload that video here. You can also add a link, but we just created that awesome piece in the design. So from upload photo, I'm going to leave it on choose from designs, and then I will select browse design library. This is going to bring us back over into our library, and you can see over here was that most recent social post that we created. So right now this is only showing us the social media pieces. So I can select this. And now you can see that piece we just created is going to be plugged into this social media post. So you do have the option to choose how you want to crop this. So for Instagram, you'd probably do the 1x1. For Facebook, or just depending on what piece you're working with, we're going to choose wide, and you can see that fit in every section of our piece. And then I'll click crop image. All right, so you can see it's starting to build our post over here on the right. So it added in our photo, and now for the body of the text, I'm going to, this is where I would probably add in like the property description. So for these sort of posts, I will say, gorgeous new listing in Thompson's Station. Call today for more information. And then maybe add in my property description. So let's see if this will, it's not going to allow me to copy and paste. Well, for these, you can see it doesn't allow me to choose a listing. For the ads, you can choose a listing and it plugs in this information for you. I'll just say like Darling, Cape Cod, home located in Thompson Station. Sorry guys, I should have just signed in. All right, so you would add in whatever text you want. I would probably put in like some sort of little intro blurb like this and then paste the property description. You have 2,200 characters that you can add in here. So since this is a Facebook post, it is a little bit longer. You can add in more detail. We're just going to keep scrolling down. You can choose to add in your DBA logo if you'd like. And then this is the most important part. When would you like to post? You can publish immediately if you'd like, and that'll just go over directly to this page that is selected over here on the right, or you can schedule this ahead of time. It does give you this tip. The best days to post are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if I wanted to change this, I can click on this little calendar button here. You can see it has tomorrow selected at 10 a.m. I'll just change the time so it looks like something different. So you can type in the time, you can change this to AM or PM, click on a different date. And then you don't have to click save on here. If you just click away from this box, you can see it updates here. Make sure the right page is selected down below. And there we go. So that's the preview of our piece. We can schedule the post. We can save as a draft. If we click this, it'll bring us into just creating another. And I'm just going to hit schedule. All right, so now it brought us back to that social post page, and you can see for tomorrow, this post is here. So once this goes out, you'll be able to see how many likes it got, how many comments, how many shares, and you can monitor the activity on this post. I don't actually want to post this, so I'm going to click on this little ... here, and I'm going to click delete. All right, so these suggested quick posts, these are really cool. So let's say they have these options here and they also had them on this dashboard. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. So I clicked on dashboard and you can see the quick posts. So if you saw one of these quick posts down here that you liked and you want to use it, all you would have to do is go to the post you'd like to use and click on this little arrow button, and a window is going to pop up. And basically, you just need to look over this and approve it, so you can see it put in the body of the text. It added in the photo, and then you can choose what time to schedule it. But just really easy ways to post more content on your pages, and these look really nice as well. So you can just hit schedule post. Select where you'd like to post that to, and hit schedule. There we go. And again, I don't actually want to post that on Scott's Facebook, so I'm going to go over to social posts. You can see it is scheduled for tomorrow, and I'm going to delete this. And if you ever need to edit these, you have the option to go back in as well. All right, so that's the social post scheduling, a really great feature. We always recommend doing this at the start of your week so that you have all your posts ready to go. We like to say set it and forget it so that you set everything up and then it'll just run on its own. All right, now we're going to switch over and go to paid ads. So this is going to be kind of a similar process as creating the social posts, but these are actually advertisements. So you can run Facebook ads, Google ads, and actually Instagram ads and Twitter ads through command. So on this page, you can see any ads that you have running, have run, or are in a draft status. You can see more information about them here, like how long they're running, how many clicks they have received, how much money you have spent. You'd also be able to edit or delete those as well. This is basically just an overview of any ads you have run. If you wanted to create a new one, we would go up to the top right and click Create a New Campaign. And then we will click Social Ad. All right, and again, kind of a simple process. You basically just go through and answer any of the questions. It'll walk you through it. So enter a campaign name. I'm going to just name this after the listing. It'll ask what your goal is. My goal is to advertise this listing. Here's that little promo. And now we can select where our campaign will run. I will choose Facebook. And then set up campaign. And it always brings up this window here to crop that DBA logo, and then it usually just works really quick and goes away. So for the ads, it is required, I believe, that your logo is there. But this is processing really slowly, so I'm just going to exit out. All right, so since I chose to advertise a listing, it does bring up that KWLS page. You can see over here on the bottom, this time it says show only my listings. Scott doesn't have any listings, so I'm going to switch this to all listings here. And then I can search for the listing I would like to advertise. I can select my listing, and now it's basically going to plug in the information for my ad. So same sort of thing like we did before. We're going to work through these questions over on the left, and it's going to build our ad on the right. So you can see it already basically built this for us. Since I selected that listing, it added in the photo, it added in the property description. But let's just work our way through this to make sure that everything is correct. So we want to go through these different sections and get this little green check mark. Name and goal, this is already completed for us. We named this after the property listing address, and then our goal was to advertise the listing. So we can just skip over that and hit save and move on. Add text. So let's go ahead and configure this. It popped open this section. The main copy, you can see it added in the property description. You have 250 characters here, so you do still want to keep this pretty short and sweet. And this section here is going to appear at the top of the posting up above, or top of the ad above the photo. The headline, this is going to be this section here. It says headline to tell your advert what your advert is about. I'm going to use that same line as before. Gorgeous new listing in Thompson's Station. All right, and then description. Again, 250 characters. We already put the property description up here. You can switch these if you'd like. It's really up to you what works best. In the description, they have these suggestions, like you could be coming home to this. If I hit the shuffle button, it puts in other suggestions. Schedule a private tour with me today. You could be coming home to this. View videos, photos and videos of this home. So if you wanted to use any of these suggestions, you could click Use Suggestion and it'll plug in that text, and you can see that's over here down below. So that was pretty simple. Our ad text is complete. The little box is checked, or little bubble, and we will click Save Ad Text. Let's go ahead and configure our ad media. It did add in an image from KWLS. If you wanted to add more images or switch that out for a video, you could do that here. So the DBA logo, you can see the little red star, that means it is required. I exited out of that first pop-up window because it was taking a long time to load, so I am going to need to either upload a logo from my computer, or I can click here to browse for my Market Center's logo. When you click that, it just brings you over to KW Command, where you can search for your the different logos. So if you ever need a KW logo for anything you're creating, it is available in Connect. So kwconnect.com in the marketing and then logos section. You can search by your Market Center name or number here, and it'll give you the custom logos for your Market Center, and then there are just the generic KW ones down below. So if you're ever working on anything and need a logo, you do have access to all of these. Let's see if I can just download this one. I'm going to add in that logo because it is required. I'm just browsing from my computer. That was the logo I just downloaded. And there we go, we have a logo in there. If you wanted to include your ownership statement, you can add that in. This just says each office is independently owned and operated. And that looks good, so we're just going to click Save Ad Media and keep moving along. Facebook ad, let's go ahead and configure this. So this is where you would need to select the account and the page. So you need to connect, in that settings section, you would need to connect whatever Facebook account has your business page linked to it. So you can see I have Scott's account selected, and then when we click on this, we manage a lot of people's and offices' Facebook pages. So I can click whatever office I want to post this to, or whatever office whatever page this ad is running for. All right, so now destination. We have a couple options here. You can use the Facebook lead generation form, which basically means, ooh, what is this telling me? Okay, I don't want to, it may ask you to sign in. Okay. So let me explain this. So you have two options here. You can use the Facebook lead generation form, or you can redirect to a site or landing page. They recommend using the Facebook lead generation form. Basically, whenever somebody clicks on this ad, Facebook will give them a lead capture form where they would put in their personal information, and that would go into your Facebook leads. And those should also, at the same time, pull over into your command database. So I just want to explain where those go. So if you were to select this option here, it is asking me to sign in. Even though I have Scott's Facebook selected, it's asking me to sign in, so I'm not going to do that right now. Or you can, if you have your own landing page that you want to direct this to, that's going to have a lead capture form, you could do that as well. But they recommend using that Facebook lead gen form, and then that'll pull over the contacts into your Facebook lead section as well as command. So you can choose whatever works best for you. Now we just need to edit this little call to action button here. You can see it says learn more. We can change this to sign up, contact us, or apply now. I'll just go ahead and leave that at learn more. And we need to select where that will go to if somebody clicks learn more. So in this case, I would direct this to my website. I would direct it to the page on my website that has this listing. So I can go ahead and paste that in. All right, now the last thing we need to do is the ad targeting. Right now it is targeting people within 20 miles of Thompson Station. That's pretty great to me. If you wanted to, you could customize this by clicking on Use Custom Settings. You could target your database, or you could target a custom audience. If you wanted to change this location or the radius, maybe increase it in 30 miles of Thompson Station. You can also use interests to target people. So if this was like in a golf community, you could search golf in here. and it would target people who have this interest on Facebook. I would probably just leave this as what they recommend. So 20 miles within Thompson Station. So all of these sections are good to go. I can click Save Facebook Ad. And now the last thing we want to do is our duration and budget. So we'll go ahead and open this up. If you do spend over $75, you'll get $25 off. The minimum you can spend is $1 a day. And they recommend running this for at least 10 days. So you can go over here. You can see they already have 10 days selected starting tomorrow, but you can change the dates here by clicking on the calendar. You can change the budget. So for $30, this is running for $3 a day. For $10, this is running for $1 a day. So that is the minimum, $1 a day. That looks good to go. We can click Save Duration and Budget. And then we can choose to either publish this campaign, and that'll start running based on whatever day you selected, or we can click Save as Draft. So I don't want to run this, so I'm going to click Save as Draft, and then click Yes. And now we can see our campaign down below once this loads, and we'll be able to see basically how it's doing, how many clicks it's gotten, how much of our budget we've spent, things like that. All right, so I know this class is running late, so I'm just going to touch on the emails really quick. I'm not going to go over direct mail, but you do have the option to create direct mail postcards in here. They're basically, you select an address and then select the postcard, and then it's kind of like what I would describe as like an every door direct mailing campaign. So you basically would select a farming area and it would send postcards out to that farming area. So not necessarily your database, it's more of like a farming direct mailer. So we're not going to be able to go over that today, but I do want to touch on the email super quick before we wrap up today. In Command, you do have the option to send out these emails. So it says campaigns, but they're not really campaigns. These are really just like a one-time email that you can send out to your Mailchimp database. So you'd be able to see any emails you've sent previously down below. You can see all of these are in draft status, but you would be able to see the date they were sent, if it was opened, how many clicks, how many bounces, the goal, and then of course if we wanted to edit this campaign, duplicate it, or archive it. I'm just going to go over this really quick for you guys. So if we wanted to create a new email and campaign to send out to our Mailchimp database, we would click Create a New Campaign at the top, and then Email. And then basically you would work through, same sort of thing, these elements over on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my campaign name. You can change the goal here. I'm going to advertise my listing again, but there are these different options as well. So right here it says Select Account. This is actually the Mailchimp account that is tied to Command. So just keep that in mind. Our next section is who are we sending this campaign to? We are only able to send this to our Mailchimp contacts at this time. I don't believe this add list feature is working. You would have to add in those contacts to Mailchimp first. And you can see when we click on recipients list, this isn't our Command database, this is our Mailchimp database. So I just want to really reiterate that to you guys. From, you can add in your name, and then the send reply to email. So you can type this in. Basically when they reply, where's that email going to go to? You would add in your preferred business email here. Subject, I will say just listed in Thompson Station. And now we can create the content. So I'm going to click Apply Design. So we do have some options for some newsletters here. And then, so in my account, I have some old email templates from the past. Unfortunately, they used to have these just listed and different email templates available in Command, they know. So from what I understand, the direct mail in Command, those postcards, it's more of like a farming postcard. I don't think you can upload or use your contacts from Command to send them out that way. So we're not actually able to use any email design templates at this time. You would have to go over here and click Create New Template. And you can see emails you've created in the past. But we would, if you don't have a template here that you want to use, you can go down to the bottom right again and click on the plus sign and choose email. We can choose to import photos and text from, oh, no, we can't do that. See, because they don't have the true like email templates anymore, or at the moment. So you would have to basically, what we're doing is, it is going to allow us to create an email from scratch. So I just want to show you guys this so you know basically what it is. It's basically a blank slate that you would have to manually create. So you can see over here on the right, if you've done any work on your website or things like that in Command, it is a very similar process. Basically, you can add in different sections to this email. We're dragging over widgets from the left or from the right over to the left. I can add in images. This will allow me to upload an image from my computer. But you can see this is just acting a little funky right now. So let's see. All right, so you can see it's kind of tricky working in here, but you can play around with this. I am hopeful that they are going to bring back those email templates because they had these really cool buildable templates where you could select your listing and it basically created like an email flyer for whatever you were working on, whether it was like an event invitation or a just listed piece. But for now, you do have to manually create this. So you would have to manually add in these sections, add in text box, add in image boxes, things like that. So I'm not going to go too much into this. I just wanted to give you guys a general idea of what these email campaigns are at this moment. So let's say I added in a bunch of text and I played around with this and it didn't look like this. It was actually like a beautiful flyer that I created based on these different elements. I can now click Update Template. And now if I go back out of here, I'm just going to hit yes. Okay, well, I would have to go back to this window. This is tied to my campaign, and I can select that template I was just using and add it in. So basically using these email campaigns is a little tricky right now because you do have to completely customize it and find your template. So I would just want to give you guys an idea of what this looks like. So you would have to fully customize this. But it is possible. So basically you'd go in, create that design through this section, and you would be able to apply it and it would show here. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this draft. If I were you, I would probably wait on this unless you want to put in the time to make a completely customized piece. I would probably wait until hopefully they bring those templates back because it was a really awesome feature. And then you could use this email campaign section to send out to your Mailchimp database. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what that actually is. So thank you guys. I know we went over so much today and there were a lot of questions and I didn't get to everything. Yes, so the Mailchimp contact database is only used in this email campaign section. But you have that Mailchimp account, so you can also go directly into Mailchimp and they have options to send out. You can create email pieces in Mailchimp as well. But that's what this email campaign section is at the moment. I just wanted you guys to see what that is and how you can work with that to create email pieces. But I know we weren't able to go over everything today. I wasn't able to get to all of the questions. So I'm going to put our contact information down below. We are only email right now due to COVID-19. We did have to cut back on our phone support, but we are still very available via email. So if you guys have further questions or you need help finding different videos, things like that, please feel free to shoot us an email. If not, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. One more day till Friday, and I hope you all stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. So thank you.